Generally, I say that I study bats because pretty much that's the means that I actually find fun in research. But typically my lab can be actually very broad in terms of what we do. Generally study the processes that create new species and also makes some species become extinct. So we are working right at the edge of the biodiversity crisis, documenting the animals that we actually have in different places, middle of the jungle of Brazil, a little isolated island in the Caribbean. We go find the species that are there, but we also document the species that are in the past through excavation of fossils. And by comparing those, we can get an understanding of how biodiversity has changed over time. Typically, when you go into a site and you excavate small bat fossils, comes out a skull that is about the size of your thumbnail, right? So they're really, really small. So one of the things that we did was that we CT scan, used computer tomography to scan a bat skull, and we reconstructed this with a computer on a three-dimensional space. We then are able to 3D print it. As a student, if you're interested in biodiversity, taking a course is obviously the first step. So a course like vertebrate evolution, for example, the one I teach here at Rutgers-Newark, will give you an understanding very generally or very broadly about what vertebrates are like and the cool aspects of them. This course is designed to help you understand what biodiversity is out there and how we better can conserve it for the future. I've always been interested in biodiversity. See, ever since I was little, I was the kind of kid that would just run out of a snake, run after a lizard, just to see how they look like. I tend to catch them, put them in a tank for a couple of days, try to get them to eat a cricket, and then I let them go. In Puerto Rico, where I was born, this was pretty easy because lizards are hanging out everywhere. So when I went to college, I knew I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to be a biologist. And I was able to work with a faculty member at the university, Inter-American University in Puerto Rico, that was a bat expert for the Caribbean. He accepted me in his lab as a research assistant. And those were the first days in which I started looking at bats more seriously. And bats are incredible. If you like different things, if you like variety, if you like biodiversity, bats are just a natural group to fall in love with.